One man told me, I have affirmed that I am prosperous until I am tired. Things are now worse. I knew when I made the statement that it was obviously not true. His statements were rejected by the conscious mind, and the very opposite of what he outwardly affirmed and claimed was made manifest. Okay, hi guys, welcome back to another video. I just wanted to get straight into it and use this little phrase from the book, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy, to kind of go into affirmations. I've got something to say about them that might change the game for you. So if this resonates with you at all, if you've been affirming and you're just not seeing results, you kind of feel like you're in this loophole and it's driving you insane. I have been there before, and this just makes sense, what he's saying in this book. So I hope that this brings clarity to you. Let's just hop into it. So again, this book is, it's written by Joseph Murphy, who also studied from Abdullah, and same person as Neville Goddard. They both studied from Abdullah. He's an amazing person. I will be creating another video on Abdullah specifically, but in the meantime, let's talk about affirmations and why they may seem exhausting if you're doing them over and over again, you're not seeing results, and you're just like wanting your manifestation now. So I'm going to proceed with what Murphy is saying in this book. He's saying, he goes on to say, your affirmation succeeds best when it is specific and when it does not produce a mental conflict or argument. Hence, the statements made by this man made matters worse because they suggested his lack. Your subconscious accepts what you really feel to be true, not just idle words or statements. The dominant idea or belief is always accepted by the subconscious mind. Okay, this is really important because you have to know where you're at. And I talk about this, I've said it before in my other videos, but ignoring your circumstance isn't the wisest thing to do, because accepting where you're at will help you better understand where you want to guide your subconscious. Like, you are the creator of your own reality, and when you can fully land in that feeling of being like, okay, this is where I'm at, this is what I've manifested, this is the world that I'm living in, now how am I going to spearhead it in any direction that I want? How am I going to pioneer that? That's just such an incredible feeling, and I don't know about you, it makes me feel powerful. I don't know, do that what you will. So again, I wanted to talk about affirmations specifically because when you know that everything is fine, you can change things, circumstances don't really matter, and you don't have to ignore them, you just see them for what they are and you change them and affirm for what you do want, then you can kind of start there. And in addition to this, I think that affirming, when you affirm something and you're really trying to create a new lifestyle for yourself, the first thing is to accept what's going on, accept your current reality, because there's plenty to already be grateful for in your current reality. Seeing it for what it is, perfectly fine. Then the second thing that I would highly, highly recommend is finding an affirmation that you can get on board with. Now, this goes hand in hand. When you know where you are at, mentally, physically, and spiritually, you can find an affirmation that is going to make sense to you that you can practice. So, for example, and I want to be very clear in this video, let's talk about finances. There's like these affirmations out there, whatever, that are like, I'm a millionaire, I am this, I am that, which is totally, it's like if you are paycheck to paycheck saying I am a millionaire, you're conscious, like you can't even get it into you can't even impress it in your subconscious, because your conscious is like, what are you saying? what are you actually saying? This does not make sense and this does not align to my reality. From experience, when I manifested my dream car, my Porsche, when I manifested moving to LA, when I manifested things that seemed bigger for me, even Stanford, like when I manifested those things, I was not particularly focused on that affirmation. I was focusing on what made me feel good and getting behind an affirmation like this. For example, my car. Somebody else has a car, somebody else has a Porsche. I would drive my Ford 2006, my Ford Fusion 2006. I would drive it around and I would see people wherever they were. You know, I would manifest that blue car, which is a very simple thing to do, you know. That's like, those are like the fun things that you manifest in your life, right? So I would manifest seeing a blue Porsche, or I would manifest seeing the Porsche that I wanted of my dreams. I would manifest seeing cars on the street so that I could have more influence on, you know, yeah, that does happen and that person has it and this other person has it. Oh wow, look, there are so many of these cars out there in the world. Like, I cannot wait to be an owner of that. So my affirmations were tailored to where I was specifically in my life. Now, did I have to believe them fully? No. But I wasn't sitting there repetitively, like just consistently saying affirmations that were driving me insane. Like, it was like I was saying it and you get this like weird feeling in your gut, which is really interesting. I'm not going to get into this too much in this video, but your gut is tied directly. It's like your second brain. And so whatever is happening in your gut, like your gut feeling is usually almost right. And the gut is a very, very, very powerful thing to focus in on and definitely not ignore when things are happening in your reality. It's very, very powerful. And yeah, we're not even going to get into that. We're just going to talk about affirmations. So something that I like to do is get on board with an affirmation that makes me feel good, something that I have fun and I feel good saying. Because if it's not feeling good to me, then it's not going to work. Unfortunately, I don't want to seem negative, but the positive is that you can find something that's going to help you practice and get better at achieving whatever you want to manifest. For example, I want you to just take a second and think about something that may not be going so great in your life. You have created affirmations on those situations already, whether you know it or not. There's like an affirmation in your mind that your subconscious has kept on autopilot that says, you know, I'm not worthy excuse me, I'm not worthy of this relationship, or I'm not, you know, deserving of X, Y, and Z. You know, we don't need to get into it too much, but there's already negative affirmations that you create. So creating positive ones, it's just as easy as how it was to create the negative ones. Okay. The third thing, which I think is actually the most important aspect of this entire video, is to say your affirmations right before you go to bed and early in the morning when you wake up. That is when your subconscious mind is the most impressionable and your conscious mind is taking the back seat. It's just not, and I honestly, I don't have all the answers. I don't know why this happens. I just know that it works. Before you go to sleep, there is this, it's kind of like your conscious mind is slowly drifting off and your subconscious mind is just, it's taking in everything from the day. It's taking everything. It's just, I mean, you heal when you're sleeping. You feel, you know, your body is doing so many things when your conscious mind is somewhere else. We don't know what's going on there. But when your conscious mind is away, your subconscious mind is still working. Your heart is still beating. You're still functioning. There's so much going on. It's so incredible to talk about. But aside from that, when you are going through this transition, right before you go to bed, not fully asleep, like not to where you're about to just go to bed, but 10 to 15 minutes when you're in that drowsy state, go into a meditative state and say these affirmations, because that is when your subconscious mind is going to better receive the affirmation. So I want to go back to the financial affirmations. Let's say you're living paycheck to paycheck and you want to be a millionaire, or you want to have a certain financial thing. That's totally possible. I don't want to make it seem like you can't receive those things, because you can do all things. Like that is given. That's your birthright. You can do anything that you want. If you want to manifest $1 million in a day, you can do that. However, what I'm saying is you have got to allow your conscious mind to take the back seat, and you've got to do something that feels like it's like you can get on board with it. And you don't even have to believe. I think that this is so interesting. You don't have to actually believe in the affirmation itself. You just have to, like, when you say it, there just doesn't have to be a negative reaction to it. It doesn't have to be like the weird, going back to that gut feeling, like that weird, oh, I don't believe that. As long as you don't have that feeling and you're able to still milk it and belong in that affirmation, that's key. And I also wanted to say that affirmations, as great as they are, and we do them every day. I do them every day personally. I think that it's a great thing to just do in general. However, you don't have to repeat affirmations all the time. I have manifested plenty of things by just affirming once. Just affirming once and saying, yeah, I want that. And then I get it. Because by the time I say that affirmation, there's no pushback. My subconscious mind isn't like, oh my God, no way, that's not gonna happen. It's by the time I say that affirmation and I say it only once, my subconscious mind has already backed me up. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, let's go ahead and do that, because we're already on board. And something else that I wanted to share within this book, it's the affirmative method, and he talks about this. He says specifically, and this is scriptural, I'll go ahead and read it. He says, the effectiveness of an affirmation is determined largely by your understanding of the truth. Let me repeat this again. Let me talk slower. The effectiveness of an affirmation is determined largely by your understanding of the truth and the meaning back of the words. In praying, use not vain repetition. Therefore, the power of your affirmation lies in the intelligent application of definite and specific positives. Okay, and then he goes on to, I could just read this whole book to you guys, okay, period, but I'm not gonna do that. But what he goes on to explaining is like, everything has a formula. So if you tell me that 2 + 2 = 5, it doesn't matter, you're gonna be incorrect, because 2 + 2 = 4, and that's math, that's formulaic, okay? And the same thing occurs with certain techniques and tools. You'll realize that certain manifestation techniques work better than others because of the embedded, encoded formulaic presence that they have already. And this is like really, really out there, and it becomes advanced. I just want to make this simple. So basically what I'm saying is that when you use an affirmation, your body will tell you if it can get on board with it, and use it before you go to bed. If you can visualize it and you can perceive that affirmation, that information, use that and continue to practice it until you see proof in your reality. Yeah, I think that's it. Actually, it's not. I do want to say something else. because he talks about saying, when you affirm health, harmony, and peace for yourself or another, and when you realize these are universal principles of your own being, you will rearrange the negative patterns of your subconscious mind based on your faith and understanding of that which you affirm. So I think that a lot of people will affirm something that they want over and over and over and over again, but they don't know why they're affirming it, and they don't have the backing to, when you want to get on board with something, it's like, okay, but why am I getting on board with this? Why do I want to believe in this affirmation? And you can simply believe in any affirmation that you want to by knowing and ingraining in yourself that it is your natural birthright. It is what you came on this earth to do, is to create and to have health, wealth, and abundance. That is like your main, that is the foundation. That is your truth. The truth is that you are created from infinite intelligence, and you have these incredible, unexplainable, just the English language can't really define how powerful we are. So creating these affirmations, coming up into or going into a meditative state, and really allowing your subconscious mind to be impressed, taking your consciousness away from, your consciousness will kind of get in the way and try to negate things, but right before you go to bed, when you say those affirmations, you'll have less resistance. It's the best time to do those affirmations. And also realize your truth. Realize your truth. You are the creator of your reality, and you can literally have anything that you want, and your subconscious mind is just here to serve you. It doesn't even care what you want. It does care what you want. It wants you to have well-being, but it doesn't care if you want a positive or if you want a negative. It's just going to go off of what you want. If you tell it that you want a certain thing, then it will do that. If you are in a negative state and you want to continue and remain in that negative state, it will bring you more of that. It does not, it's no respecter of persons. It'll, and it's awesome because you can literally change your life in a very short amount of time. So I hope that has helped you. If you have any questions, or if you've experienced what I'm talking about, or have just said affirmations over and over again and you haven't seen results, please try this and give it a go. Tell me how you get on with it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.